Okay, welcome back to the midweek market breakdown with Auto Trade. So Sunday we went over Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, and Dogecoin. So now we're going to see how these charts have played out midweek and try to see where we think these charts are going to end the week off. So the first pair we're going to be looking at here is definitely going to be Bitcoin. Earlier on Sunday, we said that we wanted Bitcoin to break out of the range that we saw here, which was the support that we saw down here, as well as the resistance up here. So we marked out a couple ideal scenarios, which would have been one to either break this high right here to pull back, continue higher, or to break through this support right here, retest and create resistance. So what you can actually see is that we did break through the support and create resistance. We also ended up printing a very, very nice fair value gap on the daily there, which we tapped into beautifully and started rejecting here. So now we're looking for Bitcoin to continue bearish with our targets. Right here is our first target. Its second targets are going to be around here. As we said on Sunday, our long-term outlook on Bitcoin is bullish, but for the short term right now, we are actually, as I said, bearish because we broke through that support, retested it, created resistance. We're now looking for Bitcoin to continue on bearish before it goes bullish. Let's hop over into Ethereum here and see how this is looking. Okay, so Ethereum couldn't hold its range here, which is slightly concerning. This is the range on Ethereum that we've been looking at that we had actually broken out. As you can see, we're in an uptrend. We're above 50 EMA. We printed a fair value gap on the daily chart after breaking through resistance, and we were looking for that resistance to hold and become support. As you can see, we have high momentum here. We're looking for momentum to continue. We never got it. We broke back down into the range, and now we're actually at the bottom of the range, retesting the support. The biggest thing that we're going to be looking for right now is if this support is actually going to hold. So just looking at the chart here, there's a lot of momentum actually going down into the support zone. So in order for us to be looking to take a trade off this support, I want to see some strong resistance, a strong rejection of the support zone. Do I think we're going to see it? I don't really know. But what I do see is this: we broke out of the range with high momentum, consolidated a little bit up at the top, looked like we were going to continue higher, and we ended up breaking down with high momentum back into the range, taking out all of this open area here. So realistically, we're now neutral on Ethereum. We're not really looking to get into anything on Ethereum for the rest of the week. If anything, maybe short-term buys on off the support level here. That being said, I'm going to need to see it reject this, or for the support to hold, push up, give me a little pullback intraday, and then we'd be targeting right here at this resistance. Really probably not a chart I'm going to want to be touching this week, just because it's super messy right now. Let's take a look at Ripple. So earlier in the week with Ripple, we were looking at Ripple to go short. Our reasoning behind this was that, okay, we have huge resistance up here, right? Tested it multiple times. We have high volume. We already see the spike down into this support level here. The other thing, that we're looking at is that, ideally speaking, we printed multiple fair value gaps with momentum breaking off of this support level, and we broke through all of them with a vengeance. So realistically, that's not a good thing. We don't really want to see that if we're going to continue moving bullish. Since we did see that, that leads me to believe that, we're actually going to be looking more bearish on this. And as we marked out on the chart on Sunday, we were looking for the support to break, right? And we were looking for it to, possibly pull back, which we didn't get. But what we did get was we got a further push down. We're going to be targeting support down here and targeting this wick right here. Right now, the momentum's to the downside on Ripple, so we would be looking to get short on this week if we can find some sort of a trade that would allow us to do so with a proper risk to reward. So something that we would be looking at right now would be if we could come back up into this fair value gap right here, right? And we're looking at stops about there, and let's split the difference here. We're looking at almost a 2.5 to 1 risk to reward on this. That's a trade that we'd be willing to take. What we would need to see was you probably drop down into the intraday charts, maybe looking at an hourly or a 4-hour chart. Once we get up and around this area here, in order for us to continue lower. As it sits right now, really not looking to get into anything unless we have some sort of a pullback, and then we need some rejection showing us that the bullish move is not going to be sustained, the bearish move will. So looking short on Ripple, nothing right now, but we're definitely going to be watching this chart for shorts to come in the next couple of days or so. Doge coin was a letdown. This coin, when we were looking at it on Sunday, we were looking at this huge volume push off of support here. And the issue that came from this was that we got immediate rejection. Weekly chart, immediate rejection. That's weak. We don't really like to see it. But that being said, we didn't really reject from any major areas. And we did actually end up closing above this previous weekly high here. So that led us to believe that, hey, maybe we were going to continue bullish. Obviously that didn't happen. We turned back around. Now we're sitting in support still. So our outlook on Dogecoin for the time being is actually neutral. We don't have any sort of an outlook on it. Given the fact that we retraced the entirety of that bull move, we're going to probably look to see momentum continue on bearish. But for that to happen, and for us to want to get short on this pair, we're going to need it to break, retest, break. But then we have lows here that we'd be targeting. And additionally, we have lows right here. And then we have the lows here. So it's not a clean run bearish, but bearish nonetheless. There may be some intraday moves for us to grab onto. That being said, Dogecoin's not really looking too good right now on a daily chart. It's looking kind of messy. Not really looking like something that we're going to want to get into. So these are the three levels that we were talking about on Dogecoin that might give us some issues to the downside if we were to continue down. If we were to continue bullish, the biggest thing that I would want to see is I would want to see some sort of a fair value gap created. taking a push up, wick down, and our first targets are actually going to be these highs right here, with second targets being the very next highs. So bullish does look better to us if we were to move that way. But that being said, the way the chart's looking right now, it's really not looking too bullish. We're actually looking a little bit more bearish. So for Dogecoin, there's really nothing actionable right now. Doesn't really look like there's going to be something actionable this week. So right now we're neutral. I mean, unless we get a huge spike, then we'll be looking at the charts. But until then, I mean, we're going to be sitting on the sideline with Doge, just kind of seeing where it goes. Again, this was supposed to be a live stream today, but we ran into technical difficulties once again. Hopefully Sunday we can live stream this video, but we wanted to make sure we got the midweek market breakdown out for you guys. If you're looking to trade crypto with fast execution and low fees, head over to www.autotrade.ai to get started. Have a good one.